I think we're ready, boy. I said. Oh shit! I don't think this one is
110 mile wide.
I said. Hold up, let me take this down here real quick. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Go to history real quick. Oh, this is gonna be hilarious. Hang on. Okay, it's Water World and shit. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me see.
A 12-mile deep asteroid scar on the Earth's surface. This crater was caused by a 6-mile-long asteroid that struck present-day Mexico.
Now, just keep in mind, asteroids and comets can be one of two things: fallen angels, or some of the electromagnetic technology which was used back in the day. Some of these ones had the power of atomic bombs, like the one over Russia, right? That was a fallen angel being thrown. There's no such thing, like... I'm trying to tell people, but don't be listening.
Yucatan Peninsula over 65 million years ago. This event unleashed mega tsunamis, mega wildfires, and caused dust and debris to block the sun, causing a period of global
Yeah, pretty much we completing it. We're wrapping it up.
Cooling. Although other factors were involved in the dinosaurs' extinction, this event was pretty much the end of the dinosaurs, as they were blasted, roasted, and frozen to death in that order. But what would Earth be like now if that asteroid had missed, and the dinosaurs continued to dominate the planet? Well, if they were still...
Now, this age where dinosaurs dominated the planet is the period of Genesis 1 and 1, in between that and Genesis 1 and 2 before the destruction, right? Let's go.
Huge dinosaurs roaming around the Earth, and this would have meant that mammals never had the opportunity to diversify into a lot of different species. Mammals would not have evolved a range of body sizes, diets, and become the dominant creatures that we've become today. Dinosaurs and mammals originated at about the same time during the Jurassic Age, but the dinosaurs became dominant and mammals remained rare for over 160 million years. So the evolution of mammals as we...
So reptilians were ruling the age of, let's say, Genesis 1 and 1 to Genesis 1 and 2, when I guess they reached their apex, right? They destroyed themselves, or the Most High oversaw their destruction, for which a different kind of being was created. And then that different being was created, a more perfect version of that being was created, which is Adam, right? Let's go. I don't think this is the one that I was playing on, so why the fuck I got this shit clicked out for? Yeah, this is not it. I don't know what the fuck that is, but let's see. Let me go to history. Oh, this some funny shit. Y'all gotta see this. I'm gonna just show y'all some random clips, right, of other people. Now some of this stuff I used to think is just madness, because like if a nigga flicking his tongue, it's like that nigga may just be a weirdo. You understand what I'm saying? He could just be a fucking weirdo. Or he could be one of these things. Watch.
Let it begin.
This shit is funny. It's hilarious. Who does that? I don't know if I believe he's a reptile, but that shit is funny. Oh God. I don't know if I buy that one, but that's funny stuff, man.
Life's a bitch.
Hey yo. Oh God, that's some funny shit, man. All right, so let's get back to some real tangible stuff. So let me show you what the ancients depicted, their own sculptures and shit, right? So let me do the viewing first. Rep and figurines. All right. This is a depiction of the ancient Sumerians. See? It's got wide shoulders like a man, but tits like a woman. Then got the Baphomet hips. Right? See that? See the wide shoulders, the cone head, tits, hips, but shoulders and face of a man. You understand? The Baphomet, right? Clay figurines. These you'll find in ancient Mesopotamia, right? Describing what these beings look like. You can see the slit eyes. These people weren't just making shit up, okay? Ubaid, right? Ubaid, period. Prehistoric Sumeria, right? This is Genesis 6 when these beings touched down. Let me see if I can find the, okay, here's the Japanese one. This is a giant statue in Japan. Look, he's wearing samurai armor. Didn't the angels Azazel come down and teach man how to make armor and weapons of war and destruction? Right? He kind of looked like a bird a little bit, actually. Right? Birdman, Harvey Birdman. Right? This is in Africa. I believe this is Sierra Leone. You can see he's got scales and sharp teeth. Right? And he's got a crown of horns around his head. Yeah? Okay? We know this is from Sumeria. These people interacted with these beings. See? Artist depiction. Very clearly, they're humanoid, but they're not human. See? Biting her neck, possibly drinking her blood of life, like vampires, right? Vampires, werewolves are also representations of reptilians and shape-shifting, right? This is what Credo Mutwa was talking about. See? His people know about these beings. Okay? The ancient Japanese, somebody had tagged me on what they call these things. I forget what the Japanese call them. The Horuji temple that's a Horuji temple. But I forgot what they call these beings. This one is like a turtle. Right? They're said to eat babies and hunt after babies. And they also eat ass. Adrenochrome, right? I mean, it's all over the place. This is, I forget, this is in South America. This is a statue found in Peru, right? The serpent beings. You see them here. What the fuck is a giant statue like this doing in Peru? What is this of, if not these beings? Okay? All over the world, they've known about these beings. Lizard people's catacomb city hunted. Okay, this is underneath Los Angeles. There was a lizard city that was known to be inhabited. Fuck is niggas talking about? This is an actual news article, nigga. Forgot what year it's from, but we did post about it. More reptilians, right? Except they showed them as crocodile gods, right? He's got a tool in his hand. Since when you know a crocodile to ride another crocodile with tools in their hands? Okay, let me guess. The ancient ancestors were just making this shit up, right? They were just making up fairy tales and stories, right? Who the fuck does that? You see these beings, these crocodile beings overshadowing the pharaoh, possessing the pharaoh. Demonic possession, right? Overshadowing, right? You understand? You see what's going on? You take this shit for granted if you want. Crocodile beings, one and the same. When he has his cloak on, right, and he's disguising himself, he appears to be as a man. When the cloak is removed, they look exactly as they are. You You understand what I'm saying? See if we can find more. Okay. So we're giving you just some examples of the sculptures, right? Let's see. This is the Dogu in Japan. This is in Serbia. Okay. Here goes more. This is Japan. Serbia. Check out the eyes, right? I fucking hate when they do the fucking techno music. I fucking hate that shit. Let me just turn that volume down. Can't stand that shit. I'm sorry. Fucking beats like that just make me think of white privilege. Don't this shit sound like white privilege? Look. Here you go. Watch white privilege start. Yeah, it sound like white privilege. Don't this beat sound like white privilege? That's what it sound like to me. Nigga said that Metal Gear sound like white privilege. That's what it sound like, nigga. Horiju Temple, Japan, right? He looked like, remember we were saying birds, fish, reptiles, the Dogon, the fish gods, the serpent gods, the fiery flying serpents. The only way you can fly is if you have wings, and birds have wings, right? Some reptiles. Birds and reptiles have scales. Birds, reptiles, and fish have scales. Birds are dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are reptiles. Come on, man. It's too easy. Horyuji Temple, Japan. Birdman up in there. In Panama, Birdman. Okay, Birdman, bird Baphomet. Okay, getting breastfed. Okay, Serbia, Birdman. Longhorn Canyon. I guess this is America. Birdman. Dogu, Japan. Birdman. Niggas had Harvey Birdman everywhere, man. This is why they call the show V. Okay, V, the show, the TV show V, right? Okay. Look at the comparison of the heads. Look. See the wide face, elongated skull, elongated eyes, slender nose. Where do you think white people get them thin ass noses from, huh? Where do you think they get them sniffers from? An artist rendition of the sculpture. Conehead, right? Let me show you. Baby born with conehead. Baby, mummified cone head baby. So this baby was in the womb of a mummy, okay? In her belly. So you can't turn around and say, oh, this is just them, it's a cultural practice. You know, they put the board against the back of their head and just made their heads long. Yeah, there's those people and their customs, they were trying to emulate those gods. That's why you see some of them African tribes and some of them indigenous fake natives, they'll sharpen their teeth to look like crocodiles and shit. Who do you think they trying to look like? They're gods. They'll fucking put the board on the back of their head and make the shit long. Who are they trying to look like? They're gods. These beings. Right? Conehead. Remember? Look. Conehead. See what I'm saying? See, she got the wide shoulders with the titties. Okay? Look. You see it with the Baphomet body, with the androgynous body. See what I'm saying? XXY face ass. XXY chromosome having ass. You gonna get them fucking XXY chromosomes? I just want to show you the damn picture. Nigga, fuck is this? Don't tell me they took this motherfucker off. Mummified baby. Cone head. Let's see. What the fuck? Here we go. Mysteries of tiny bodies from 1930s will linger. This is not it, but I'll check that out at another time. I'm gonna find that article for y'all. I don't want to waste too much time though. But there's one of a mummified. It's a mummified woman from Peru, right? And the baby within her womb, she died with a baby in her womb. The baby has a cone head. So that means that this thing was born like that. Motherfuckers be thinking it's a goddamn joke. Look. They took the damn baby's head out of the fetus of the mummified woman. It had fucking slender eyes, just like that, and that. Mad egg in the back. Mad egg. You understand? Close that out. We can close that out. I don't know about that. Let me see this. All that tongue flicking. Let's play this real quick. This is Egyptian hieroglyphs. You see the serpent people? See the small miniature serpent people? That means they come in all different sizes, right? Flying serpent, you see there's terrestrial serpents, the ones that are just in this dimension, and then there are the ones which travel interdimensionally, hence the wings, right? The flying disc, right? That Nibiru which is coming back, it's not I told you, it's not a ship. It's a living being. It's a living being, right? So go. See? Egghead ass. Egghead ass.
500 years ago.
This matches the scripture. 3,500 years ago. Let me just see if this guy's doing well with his thing real quick. Oh, he had a little bit of an event, so let me give him a little bit more titration. Give him some of that 10. Yeah, let me give him some of that 10 right there. All right, so 3,500 years ago. So from Genesis, let's say Genesis 4. Well, let me do this real quick. Where the fuck am I gonna write? All right. Nope, not that. Might as well use that. All right, so from Genesis from Genesis 3, let's say when they get kicked out the garden, right? For Genesis 3 and 20, we'll say 3 and 20, up until Noah was 2,000 years. Okay? From Noah up until Hezekiah, or a little bit after Hezekiah, but we'll just put Hezekiah. It's more or less 2,000 years. More or less 2,000 years. 2,000s, right? And then from that time period of that captivity to Babylon, who was the last one we went into captivity to? Was Babylon, I think it was. From Babylon captivity of the Israelites, and I believe that's the Hezekiah era, up into present day. Right? That is that's another almost about 2,000 years. Almost about more or less, adding up to 2,000 years. So since Adam was kicked out of the Garden of Eden, right? Let me put just Eden expulsion. That's when time began. So, or time as we're counting it in this realm, right? This is about 6,000 years, more or less. Okay. Now, the age before Adam, right? Remember, that's Genesis 3, right? Now, the age before Adam, let's say Genesis 1 and 1 to Genesis 1 and 2 is his own time period. We don't know how long, we don't know how much time is between then. It could be 1,000,000 years. It could have been 12,000 years. It could have been 20. It could have been 50,000 years. It could have been 100. We don't know. That's why they call it the timeless age. Remember, there was no sun, moon, and stars. So how could you have time with no sun, moon, and stars, right? This is the timeless age. And then there's from Genesis 1 and 3 to Genesis, let's say 1 and 29, right? Or to finish it, or to Genesis 2. We'll just put to Genesis 2, right? That in itself was 6,000 years. Remember, each day is 1,000 years unto the Lord, right? One day equals 1,000 years, right? So if we're talking in the time of God's timing, we're looking from his point. Because remember, time changes based on your perspective. So it's really since Genesis 1 and 3 until from Genesis 1 and 3 to current day to 2018 has been a little under 12,000 years. 12,000 years, or minus. We'll just put minus. Well, we'll put plus or minus, but it's definitely less than. We're adding up to 12,000 years, trying to get to 13, right? But the time shit, I got it mapped out already. So it's like, I'm trying to do it off the top of my head. But if I had the other book with me, it'd be a little bit easier. But this whole Earth age with Adam only involves about 12,000 years. You understand? So if we're including the sun, moon, and stars as they are right now. Okay, not including the age before the age of Saturn, not including that. So this all makes sense when we look at it. He said about 3,500 years ago is when these beings came down, Genesis 6, right? So if we're looking at the flood, okay, so we got that part. We don't know. We can move that to the side because we don't know how much time that is, right? So this is 2,000 years. So see what I'm saying? Add these two, 2,000, that's about 4,000 years, right? But we haven't completed the 6,000 year to lead into the 7th yet. So really, we're 5,000, let's say 500 years, and we got another 500 to go. I'm just giving you an example. So you see how it makes sense. What's 2,000 plus 2,000? It's 4,000. That's more or less the same time frame he's talking about. Just take away 500 years, right? So let's go.
During the reign of King Thomas
That puts him right at Genesis 6, which makes sense.
III, ancient Egypt was invaded by spherical UFOs, which were described as circles of fire.
Serpents of fire, the fiery serpent, circles of fire. Did not Paul say he saw a ball of light and he heard the voice of Jesus Christ coming out of that ball of light? Nigga, that was a goddamn dinosaur. Nah, let me stop. It was a goddamn reptile. Goddamn fallen one. Ready? Let's go.
According to ancient papyrus, these spherical UFOs filled the sky for several days.
The Temple of Hathor, right? We're going to see some snakes.
In his fascinating book, British author Matthew Deleuze shows photos of strange alien reptiles.
See? That means I'm going to have to buy that book. Matthew Deleuze. Hold up. I have to get that book. Sorry. I got to do that because I will forget. Matthew Deleuze. What is the book called? Oh, we already watching that. Oh, they're loose. Okay, that's what it's called. I guess they don't have this book. Matthew DeLuce. What is this nigga name? Matthew DeLuce. My fault, y'all. I got to do this, but I got to do this, man. Okay, it's not working that way, so let me do it this way. Matthew DeLuce is not popping up.
Matthew DeLuce shows photos of strange alien
Matthew DeLuce, reptilians. Let's see. Why are you telling me fascinating author? Just tell me the fucking book name, man. God damn. I hate that shit. Give me the fucking book name, man. I'll come back to it. The fuck?
reptiles, some with the bodies of apes and heads of lizards. These can be found on the walls of the Temple of Hathor at Dendera in Egypt. Here we see reptilian humanoid creatures alongside pharaohs and bird-headed beings.
Pharaohs and who? Bird-headed beings? Steve Harvey Birdman?
Strange giant light bulbs, possibly some form of plasma beam weapon, can clearly be seen at the Temple of Hathor. Inside these strange devices, there are serpents. This is possibly a pictorial message that this alien plasma technology was given to the elite of ancient Egypt.
See? Electromagnetic technology, right? Plasma, magnetism, electricity, electromagnetic plasma. This is the Star Wars technology being returned to man. This is what the Nazis had rediscovered in the 1930s. Come on, bro.
By a
Come on.
serpent or reptilian race of aliens.
Come on, man. Right, them blocks were carved with laser technology, right? Silent weapons for silent wars. Don't make me hit you with that Michael Jackson.
Like the Antikythera mechanism from ancient Greece and the Baghdad battery, this plasma technology was a closely guarded secret technology reserved for the use of the elite in ancient Egypt. Just as we see today, the royal political elite have secret underground bases harboring secret stealth technology.
What? Underground bases? Where did we tell you the reptilians are hiding? Yah's underground monster army? What? Deep underground military bases? What? They're doing cloning down there? What? They're doing dream invasion down there? What? What have we been telling you for years? Huh? Okay.
And flying saucer type craft.
Who do you think gave the United States that technology? Who do you think that the United States was talking to in the 1940s? Who do you think the United States made contact with after Project Paperclip when they brought all those Nazi soldiers over from Europe? Who do you think shared all this technology, right? You know the Russians also got some Nazi soldiers, and that's how they started the KGB, right? Okay, so if you don't know what Project Paperclip is, look it up. And then there's a Russian equivalent to Project Paperclip. The Nazis, once you study them, the SS stands for the Black Sun. It was a Black Sun cult. They were a part of Theosophy. If you understand what Theosophy is, you'll get into Helena Blavatsky. If you understand who that is, you'll know her relation to Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley then motivated the foundation of Anton LaVey and the Church of Satan. Like, you got to understand the history to see how all of this has been traveling through time. And I got 10% battery left, so let me just, it might do it again. I don't want it to delete me and not save this shit. Hello! That's how them niggas be doing. That's how them niggas be in my deli at a certain time. The niggas be like, hello, hello.
Ancient than the Mayan kingdom.
I be like, them niggas singing the demons.
Of Central America.
Okay, they're talking about our people now. This is where Deuteronomy 4 comes into place, right? Remember Deuteronomy 4? The Most High, our God, warned us, don't fuck with them other gods. Don't fuck with them other gods. Leave them other gods alone. Don't marry the other nations' women, because the other nations' women are going to motivate you to build altars and temples to the other gods. Well, this is what happened to us. Remember, we are the Aztecs and Mayans, right? Listen.
Older than ancient Greece and predating the pharaonic dynasties of Egypt, the Sumerian Empire was formed more than 6,000 years ago. More than 6,000 years ago, okay? Before the era of Noah. Right? This was formed. Sumeria was formed. So you're talking about before the captivity of the last captivity we went into, or the first one since the last time we've been in control of our land. Let me put it that way, because we jumped into captivity from captivity after this. So let me word that properly, right? So during this era, during the time of Noah, right? This is when this Sumeria was around. Even like, this shit is crazy. And if I got my timing right, that would make sense, because Abraham was in contact with Noah and therefore had the true understanding and the history. Let's go. Stretching from the Indus Valley region in Pakistan to the capital called Uruk. They're not planning on hiding anymore. That's because they can't, because the sun discharges electromagnetic stimulants, energy, information, photons, right? So if creation is now changing or adapting or flushing itself out so it can get back to its original state, that means all the devices. Why do you think we made that big TV shift? When was it? A couple years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I think it was, when they forced everyone to go to 5K televisions or whatever 4K televisions. They forced everybody to, because the current televisions could not handle the hologram technology. Do you guys remember how much glitching was going down? People's faces, faces would be shifting and glitching all over the place. And then they gave you that new 4K TV and they said, hey, we got a digital box now and everybody's going digital. That was the reason why. I speculate that was the reason why. They wanted to continue to hide themselves. However, the technology and the energy, due to the increase in heat or increase in sunlight or sun information, causes these beings to be exposed, right? It's over. They can't hide nowhere. And I told y'all I had this dream about the sun and the sky went black, and then certain people started to change. Certain people started to change into other things. Okay? So it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when. Sumeria is known as the cradle of civilization. It was here.
Our forefather Abraham was a Sumerian, right? So there's a reason why you can read some of this and you see me surmise that instead of Genesis 1 and 27 being Proverbs 8, it actually being in relation to the Sumerian Anunnaki story. These us, right, or these gods being the fallen ones, the material beings. With this other creator God or supreme source, which is neither male or female, being at the helm, right? And being an impersonal God. Doesn't have any loyalty to any set thing except for the order which it is emanating. And then these beings choose whether or not to go with the order and uphold it or go against the order, right?
That white-skinned peoples from the Caucasus Mountains spread a worldwide cult of blood ritual and...
That worldwide cult is known as the the cult of Saturn, the Black Sun cult, right? The cult of Sophia, the cult of Lilith, right? All of these are the same names for the same being, right? Let's go.
Magic to the rest of the world. Two authors, Zecharia Sitchin and the...
Now remember, Zecharia Sitchin is a disinformation